What's the deal with seed oils? I'm gonna make a shredded chicken and cabbage salad. Come cook with me. Let's talk about it. My For You page has had so much stuff about seed oil, how they're gonna take the United States down and how it's the root cause of every single illness that we all have. I mean, it gives me so much pause. And I wonder about us focusing all of our energy on seed oils specifically. So I had to wash my hands after that. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt on top of the chicken and then into the oven for 45 minutes. This chicken is gonna get roasted and then shredded for my cabbage salad. Okay. So when I'm working with patients, people have questions because they see all this on social media. Should I cut out seed oils from my pattern of eating? And I actually think our larger problem in this country is not seed oils, but I think our larger problem is that we don't have access to affordable, nutritious food. I mean, this, for example, came from the farmer's market, and it's absolutely beautiful. However, I know that not everybody has a farmer's market in their backyard or even a grocery store that has gorgeous produce, and it also takes time. We're so separate from our kitchens, and so we rely a lot more on foods that are made by other people or pre-made. And I want to be really clear. I'm not trying to say that there's something wrong with that, but I am saying that when we lose our acquaintance with the inside of our kitchen, of course, then we start to see the rise in chronic illnesses. And so my question is, do we really want to focus all of our time on seed oils? And would it be better if we were out there talking about subsidizing foods that folks actually eat? Like, wouldn't that be where we really want to start and begin? So the truth is, like, what we eat has so much impact on our current health and the future of our health. Also, if we're able to engage in stress-reducing activities, all of that plays into it. All right, I'm not gonna cut this down anymore because the truth is, I don't have a cover for this and I'm not trying to lose a finger today. I just think that there's so much that we're missing when we only focus on seed oils. And now I do want to say this thing. Listen, I understand seed oils are in many of the shelf-stable items. And yes, when eaten in abundance, they do cause inflammation within the body. 100% the research supports that. Here's the thing. When we actually cook more in our homes and when we engage with food in its whole and minimally processed form, it's actually better for our body. There's so many variables for why we're in this chronic illness epidemic. It's not just the seed oils alone. We're here because the folks that live in the US, we don't have good health care. We don't have access to safe, affordable, nutritious foods. We don't have safe spaces to move our body. We don't have, in all places in the US, clean water to drink. There's a lot that is missing. And so I think solely by focusing on seed oils, truthfully, we're missing the mark. Okay, so I'm making a cabbage salad in here. And this is some red cabbage. I put a little bit of red onion, and I have another green cabbage, and this is coming out very nicely. Yeah, these are the things that I think about. And when I'm working with patients, I have to tell you, our focus is always, how can we improve what's happening in your life? What are the factors that you have control over that we can modify, right? Because those are the things at the end of the day that you really do have control over. You can't wait for somebody else to come and save you from this mess that we're in. That's the truth right there. We have to think outside the box, especially when we're thinking about health. All right, so here, oh, this is beautiful. I have the green cabbage, the red cabbage, red onion. That's very nice. I think I'm gonna put some ginger, a little garlic, and then I'll make something to kind of break this down. This is gonna be nice. And then when I put that chicken inside, this is gonna be delicious. All right, so what's the big deal with the seed oils? Why is everybody up in arms about them? It's really about their structure and the ratio of omega-6 and 9s in the seed oils versus the omega-3s. And so that's why people are like, they're more inflammatory instead of being anti-inflammatory. And so seed oils do have higher ratios of omega-6s and 9s, but here's what the research says, and this is what I find to be very important. Let's say you're cooking with a seed oil in your house. That application, and I'm rolling my limes out because they are firm and I really want all the juice that they have. That application in your home seems to be much better than when it's in a shelf-stable item, right? Because there's also a lot of other additives and things, fillers and stabilizers in some of the packaged goods. Our health is built on what we eat the majority of the time, the behaviors that we engage in the majority of the time. So let's say you're having packaged goods that have high quantities of seed oils, and that is the majority of your pattern of eating. Well, we know that you're more likely to have metabolic dysfunction. Whether or not, oh, this is not juicy at all. Hardly anything is coming. Let's see, that's because I'm using limes and this is a summer piece of produce right here. So if that packaged good is the center of your pattern of eating, which is the case for many people living in this country. In fact, one of the things that we know is that the average person living in this country is not actually meeting the recommendation for fruit, vegetable, and whole grain intake. So listen, this is very, very specific. When we're saying that, we know that people actually are eating more inflammatory foods. That's why I said I don't think this standalone focus on seed oils is it, because there's so many other variables that come into play when we're thinking about whole body health, longevity, and thriving. So I'm not here to demonize packaged goods or processed foods, because I understand everyone has different, like I said, everyone has a different reality. And so what we have access to is very, very different. But I am here to say that we need to make some changes, right? And some of this has to come from policy shifts where we're actually funding, like I said, food that we all eat. I'll grate this ginger up, but I won't let it be too spicy. I don't have Thai chilies, but I do have Aleppo peppers and some red pepper, so we'll have to see. I have never done this before, but we're gonna put a little anchovy paste in there, mimic my seafood sauce that I don't have, or fish sauce rather. Put a little toasted sesame oil, some coconut aminos, a little rice vinegar. Okay, Aleppo pepper, let's do this. Come through. Oh my gosh. Oh, I could add a little honey. Hey. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put that all over this. Let that break down. And I'll set that aside. By the time the chicken is done, then I can shred the chicken, add it to this. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of mint to this. Don't have to be precious about it. The idea is to just make delicious food that's not too complicated. Incredible. Yum. It's gonna be my lunch. Thanks for cooking with me, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any nutrition questions or dishes that you want me to dive into, leave me a comment below. If you're interested in this recipe in particular, head to my website, mayafellernutrition.com.